This week on FoolCraft 2.
Arr, is it a gorgeous land of Cotsy posturate? Dar, swashbuckler!
Welcome to the FoolCraft 2 recap. I'm your host PixelRiffs, our writer is LoyXP, and last week we asked you to decide who fulfilled the role of the Fool in Team SRS. So, falling right into our writer's trap, you guys voted for Iskall85 to be the biggest fool of a team that he's not even a part of. Great work, folks.
No, Brain, why?
Then again, we asked you which team you'll be most rooting for on the Day 1 recap, and the majority voted for Azuma, False, and Beef. Maybe if the other question had been about them, you'd have nailed it first time. To keep the tradition going, here's another poll. Do you enjoy these polls? Cast your answer in the iCards, drop us a comment explaining your choice, and in the meantime, let's see what the fools are up to. Starting with your favourite team, and particularly the fact that it suddenly got flight off screen.
Yes! Surprise, surprise! False has done something off camera.
In a live stream, False Symmetry has created herself an angel ring that allows for creative flight, which seems to have startled the rest of the teams into an aerial arms race. On top of that, False single-handedly pulls her team into the Iron Age by crossing a whole lot of territory and bringing home a whole lot of fluid cows with that Ironage in their udders. Following in the steps of a certain dog of Ren, she quickly sets up an Ender IO auto milker for each of them, although she does hit a bit of a roadblock with the Infinity one.
Which was basically that they basically disabled it. They disabled it because Infinity blocks are OP, which I thought was fine because everybody had basically started using them. So I was like, oh, everybody else is using them, I will use them too. It's enabled again now, which I think is what it's going to stay as, but I don't know.
Armed with new metals, False assembles a bunch of Tinker's Construct weaponry, including a rapier which is extremely helpful against pigs. Azuma, meanwhile, found a whole mess of pixels that's helpful against pretty much anything, including Swedish people.
What happened? What happened?
Chopface is pretty much the god of swords, and is one of several FoolCraft 2 super rare weapons you can find that will absolutely ruin someone's day. For crying out loud, it almost one-shots a Wither boss, on a second try and with a potion of strength, that is.
Wow, I totally thought it was going to be, and so did many of you as well. You saw it, it took like 3 or 4 hits. That was actually quite unexpected. But in vanilla, doesn't it have 150 hit points? In modded, it's got 330.
Add that to the fact that Azuma has moved all of his AE machinery back to his team's collaborative swamp, and you realise that all of a sudden this week, they got much more threatening.
Okay, now what about the statue? Because that kind of looks like a Steve. Let's give it a go. Hey, there we go, look, we got a little Iskall in our base because we killed him. And when we click on our quests, our first ones are actually to kill players of the other team.
Vintage Beef opts for a more peaceful existence as he continues his experiments with chickens. He's also slightly behind the curve on flying technology as he only just discovered the wonders of a slime sling.
Good angle on it. Boom! Above the clouds. Oh man, what a landing too. That was fantastic. I love it.
Planning to build a barn for the chickens leads him on an adventure where he discovers the same 3 structures everybody else found on day 1, runs into a creeper with the face of Mr. T, and completely forgets what a birch tree is.
I'm hoping I don't miss it. That's dark oak. Obviously birch. I'm not sure why I walked up to it. It's clearly birch. I have no idea what just happened there. But that was hilarious.
When Iskall isn't being insta-killed by Azuma, he's busy setting up a base which isn't a factory this time, we promise. In fact, he's going for more of a Jurassic Park / factory / pirate theme, so basically, he's building Universal Studios Hollywood. At least we know what the theme song will be. Before that project gets too far, he needs to get the essentials in place, including an angel ring of his own, a cursed earth farm in the nether collecting mob essence, and an infinite supply of toast.
Nice! So if we need food, we just gotta go fart here and we'll get some food.
Team Sirius is not far behind. In fact, it may even be a tiny bit ahead, having literally outplayed Iskall at his own game, or at least his own mod. Because it's not Iskall, but Good Times with Skaar, who was the first person on the server to assemble and hook up his team to a proper Iskallium reactor, obviously tired of their storage running out of power every now and again.
Did you see my hat? It's for Iskall, the greatest Norwegian of all time, so it's kind of amazing.
Of course, to stay in the game, they will need to catch up with creative flight, so Rendog is tasked with catching several ghasts for the creation of angel rings. Don't worry, he's not the fool of the team, he'll be fine.
Let's drop on him, and did we capture him? Did we capture him? No, let's just do a little hit in his butt. Let's just charge up the slime sling. Oh no, okay, this is really hard to do. Come on, Ghast, come this way, dude. Come and float this way, you freaking random floating idiot. Why can't you track players like other mobs?
Stress Monster has a better time with the Nether when she assembles her own take on a Wither skeleton farm. This one uses a regular skeleton spawner, but it just so happens that a skeleton spawned in the Nether has a 70% chance of being a Wither skeleton, so it works out just right. Check out her video in the iCards to see exactly how this farm was possible.
It works! It works! Success! Now give me the head.
With some reinforced obsidian and the Wither in the bedrock trick from vanilla Minecraft, Stress gathers herself a couple of nether stars. And shortly after that starts her journey into the extreme crafting of the Avarita mod, the one mod said to be OP beyond OP.
No idea. Does it tell? I'm gonna Google it quickly actually.
Also, Talk Like a Pirate Day has hit her and Iskall like a truck.
I hope you be no landlubbers, sitting in the behindings with some weird fairy wings.
There's nothing wrong with these here fairy wings. You bilge rat!
I want to pillage and plunder and find me a treasure. Savvy?
And on that note, thanks for watching the FoolCraft Recap. My name has been PixelRiffs and our writer is LoyXP. If you want some slightly lighter modded action, check out my latest episode of Harmony with Python GB in the end cards. Don't forget to leave a like to help support the channel and subscribe so you won't miss future episodes of the recap. See you next week, fools.